So we are back here with Lauren Leader of All In Together, who is here tonight not just to observe and to be part of this process, but also because there's a really important change happening in this party and in politics nationally, including women in this conversation, and getting them on, not the ballot tonight, but getting them on the campaign trail. There are 3 women who caucus goers can choose from tonight. What does it mean to include women in this conversation, and not just to include them, but also to propel policies that will prop them up?
Well, look, it's incredibly important. Women have outvoted men in every election in the United States since 1980. We're the majority of the electorate, and yet we have not been represented, obviously, at the presidential level. We're still less than 30% of Congress. So at a time where women are outperforming men in terms of the share of college degrees, women are now more than 50% of the workforce. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's sort of incredible that our political process has been so unrepresentative. And I think we're going to see, not just in the caucus, but throughout the primaries, record turnout of women, as we did in the midterms in 2018, and the impact of that on the process overall.
When you are out on observing the campaign trail and out at events talking to voters, what's resonating with them in terms of what's going to motivate them to come here?
Well, look, I don't think there's any question that for Democratic voters, the desire to beat Trump is a huge motivator. We've done lots of polls, my organization has, showing that it is really in many ways the top motivator of voter participation for Democrats and independents going into this election. But clearly people are concerned about real issues that affect their lives every day. We've heard a lot about health care, about the economy, student debt. I think that's a huge factor for younger voters who are concerned about the student loan crisis. There's a long list, but I think fundamentally a lot of Americans have woken up in a big way to the importance of participating on our political process and are realizing that when we don't, things can happen that you may not like.
When you look at this field, who has the best platform for women?
You know, that's an impossible question to answer. I think there's no question that the women candidates are trying to bring women's issues to the fore, everything from maternal mortality to child care to even elder care, which Amy Klobuchar has talked about. All of the Democratic candidates have made some commitments to women's issues. I think the question is going to be who really resonates with women, and by the way, women are not a monolith. So black women don't vote the same way as white women. College-educated women vote differently than non-college educated. We're very diverse. And at the end of the day, it's going to be who speaks to the most Americans and gets them to the polls.
Lauren, it's good to talk to you. I appreciate you being here. Your insight is very valuable, so thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Alex.